A little bit different, you all. 12:51 p.m. 11/4/2020. Trump won. Period.
But I'm just gonna go ahead and share this because I have a feeling they're gonna delete this video. And I'll have it on Rumble. Eventually, I'll have it on Rumble. I'll have it on other shows or on other outlets as well. But this is what happened. There is no way in the on the planet that there were close to 70 million votes for brainless Biden. No way. That's almost next to impossible. Now, Newsmax was reporting, they were saying the media doesn't want to have Trump to have a victory. They knew he was going to win, but they didn't want to have a victory. Fox News was horrible. I thought I was watching CNN. It was horrible. There was a anon firefighter. He's like, go to Newsmax, and I went on Newsmax, and it was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so let me share this with you. This is the only map that they're reporting. The map that I have is a little different, but this is the only map that they are reporting, and this is coming from Google. I wanted to show you that. Now, if you could go down here, it's showing the states that haven't been called yet. Georgia, there's 94% reporting. They won't give it to Trump right now. And then we have Michigan, 96% reporting. And they're saying that Biden has that. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this, guys. Nevada, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a Trump win. I have a funny feeling that's going to be a Trump win. And then they called Virginia early. Biden had way less in terms of a percentage. They were showing the percentage of votes than President Trump, and they gave it to Biden. And then they had this. I mean, it was stupid stuff like this. Now, we know Hawaii and Alaska are the last two states to get called, but this was coming up at about, here you go, 10:27 Pacific time. So this was coming up then. Hawaii hadn't been tallied yet, all right? But look what was going on. Now, Hawaii had just closed their polls 30 minutes prior, all right? Look at, so they're showing 0%. They already gave it to Biden. How is that even possible? I mean, there's like 0, and they gave it to Biden. So a lot of that was happening. And this right here, what I'm thinking, guys, is President Trump was flushing out the voter fraud. So all of you voter fraud pollsters that were in on the scam, I hope you get yourself with a new costume. You're going to have a new outfit. It's going to be all orange, because I'm going to share this with you guys. What they did was, it's a felony, it's fraud, because I was working out some numbers, and this is what I came up with. I don't have all the numbers. I will have it later today. I just wanted to have something to report so you all can kind of rest at, kind of have a little bit of ease in your mind, okay? And at the very, very end, I will have President Trump's speech last night. And I want, again, pay attention to how they were celebrating. So let's take a look at this. I went ahead and I looked at this website right here. I went on yippee.com. It's a search engine. It's not, DuckDuckGo's gotten kind of funky lately. So it's a search engine. And I went ahead and I pulled up a search on the number of registered voters in each state. And they have it broken down into the number of the percentage of registered voters to the population. Okay, that's how they had it broken down. So I went ahead and went to Georgia. I'm going to go ahead and focus on Georgia. And here we go. Because they haven't called Georgia. Now, this is really where it gets interesting. Let me go ahead and shorten my, actually, let me hang on just for a second. So this is what President Trump did last night. He set the trap out, and the trap was voting day. Remember how he had mentioned about voter fraud, but we were all wondering, well, what's he doing about it? What's he doing about it, right? So this is what he did. He set the trap out for not just the pollsters, not just the different governments that allowed these these harvested ballots, these ballots in boxes, but he also set the trap for the media that will not report this. All right, and again, the only one that I found, OAN is great, but they had a lot of news. It wasn't like they were running an ongoing poll. As well, maybe they did, but I just wasn't seeing that. But of course, I had 4 devices going on at the same time. Newsmax was on it; they were on it. But this is basically what it was. The media, you have the media, you have the pollsters, you have the exposure of voter fraud was coming into play. Guys, I was just running these 4 numbers. Okay, I only ran 4 states because I'll run them all later, but that's going to take me a little time. But I ran just 4 states, and I was like, holy smokies. And I just want you to know, I pulled my data from this website. I'll have the link below. But I pulled my data from this website, all right? So we can see the number of registered voters and each state. Now I'm going to break it down. Okay, now I just want you to focus on, let's say, North Carolina. That hasn't been called yet. This is saying that 65.20 of the population are registered voters. Again, because we can't register anybody under 18, right? So this is, follow this yellow line right here. This is North Carolina. The registered voters is 5,160,000. All right, I've got that, 160,000. The total votes that came in is 5,387,496. Okay, because I was going through this site right here. Let me check, I'll show you. Okay, so I was going through this site. Now this is going to move around because they're updating these numbers right now. And as of like 20 minutes ago, this is the number that it came out to. If you add Joe Biden, if you add President Trump's votes, so we have Trump's votes at 2,732,000, and then we take a look at this one, and it says 2,000,007. Okay, so that didn't change. And then we have Biden votes at 2,655,392, which is right here. You see that? All right, so you've got Biden and you've got Trump votes. If you add those two up alone, all right, if you add those two up, it comes out to 5,387,496. All right, this is the voter fraud. If there's 5,160,000 people, see how this is moving around a little bit. If there's 5,160,000 people, but there's actually 5,387,000 votes that came in, that's 104.41%, guys. All right. Now the news is reporting that only 94% is in. All right. They're saying only 94% of the votes are in. Hello, just by simple mathematics, that's not right. When I was going through some of these numbers, again, I just went through 4 and I scanned through a few others. We've been defrauded for many, many years, guys. I mean, then I went through, and let me show you this one. Okay, then I went through Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania, they're saying, now again, this is, I've got to kind of dissect all of this here, but they're saying the 64% has voted, okay, that were reported that have voted. Take a look at this line right here. Actually, let me highlight that. I added up Trump votes and Biden votes to here, all right, to this website. Again, this is their updating numbers. I mean, okay, so it's showing that right now the total registered votes are 6,469,000. Actual votes that came in is 5,557,809. The actual number of percentage that have been reported is 85.91%. Do you see that? Over here, the news is reporting 64% reporting. They don't want, again, they're doing everything. This is like the number statistics way of cheating. They're just pulling
Some on
Judge
percentages,
Sullivan.
some on
That's
the
all they're
actual
doing.
number of voters.
So if you take a look at here, Trump registered to the registered voters is 47%. Biden percentage of votes to all the registered voters is 39%. If you take a look at here, they're saying Trump is 53. Now they're saying the total number, if you add 53.7 plus 45.2, they're saying that 98.90 percentage of the votes are in. That's not true because it's only 85%. I hope I didn't lose you on this, but I'm sharing that they're over right here. They have 104% votes that are in.
It's going to be over in Pennsylvania
number
too.
of people based on the numbers they're sharing. So how many of these are fake ballots? All right, and how many here are they not counting for President Trump? That's how this is kind of going. So I will go ahead and have a more thorough broadcast. I just wanted to share this with you, so you have a little bit of understanding. But now I want you to take a look at President Trump's speech. His family walked out. It was 2 in the morning. Their time, his family was walking out. They were celebrating. They really, really, really were celebrating.
So
you can see the joy
Jones
in their faces.
And Mr. Smith makes 5 votes each.
Pretty quickly, and then you see President Trump.
They can throw 4 of them away and only keep 1 of each, like you're supposed to.
You almost see this little bit of a smirk on his face, like, yeah, we got them. And the media. Why I said Judge Sullivan, why he's pulling a Judge Sullivan. Judge Sullivan will not dismiss the case for General Flynn because he knows that what his inevitable fate. So he's got to keep that case, in my opinion. This is just strictly my opinion. You decide. But in my opinion, he's keeping the case alive so it prevents him from going to the clink. The same thing is going on with the media. Remember, the media has a bunch of criminal codes. How many to their names? How many more different kind of cases will be added because of this fraud? What they did last night was not, I mean, it was horrible. They were not serving America at all. I will never watch Fox News again, ever, unless you carefully watch his gestures. He knows he's already won. All right, we know he's already won, but the media and everyone else, they need to keep this whole doom and gloom going on. Actually, the doom and gloom is happening for them, and they are just now, right now, in freak out mode. So hang in there, guys. This is part of, unfortunately, it is. I believe it is part of the plan, and why it has to be done this way, I have no idea. Maybe it's also to prevent the major riots because Black Lives Matter was over there hanging out in D.C. and they want to protect a lot of the residents that live out there. So just hang in there, guys. Let's go ahead and watch this, and then I'll have another broadcast later today. Okay, take care. Aloha.
Got a lot of grievance. Look, you see that Eric Tiffany now coming out. Everybody looks happy. That's a good sign.
And probably not an accident.
Yeah.
Happy Warriors.
Yep.
Upbeat.
Well, we're
All right, throughout the day, I'm going to do this on the numbers. As y'all seen, part of it's they're lying on the numbers of voters. Then they're using the percentages. So where she showed that one is 104%. Okay. Statistically, the best that they ever going to get out is anywhere from 95 to 98. Okay, turnout for voters. Okay, even though this was not what you say your standard election. Okay, now if anybody's got any kind of common sense whatsoever, just go back and look at the rallies for the last month only. Look at Biden's, look at Trump's. Who in their freaking right mind would think that Biden won any damn thing? All right, y'all, peace.